Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Thrills and Kills. It's been a really long time. I've been through so much stuff that I really just haven't had time to be making videos. And it's a shame because there are so many new fish that I have that I am just dying to show you guys. And today, we're doing a care video on a very unusual and equally fun animal. So, if you guys know some of my older videos, you may have known that I used to own a figure 8 and a Fahaka. I no longer own those since I didn't keep them whenever I made the move from Pennsylvania to Florida. And for a while, I just decided not to get any more puffers. Not because I didn't like taking care of them, it's just I didn't really have the time. But I found this little one on a fish website, Aqua Imports, which I trust a lot. I do suggest them if you guys are looking into trying to find oddball fish. But today, we're going to talk about the Congo puffer. So, the Congo puffer, Tetradon maris, not to be confused with the Congo puffer, or the spotted Congo puffer, is a smaller puffer that is designed for burrowing. Now, since this is an African fish, I should start out by saying that, yes, their pH is very high. And it is actually the highest compared to any of the other fish that I've done videos on. Having a pH of just around 7.5, almost to 8. But they can also live at much lower pHs. They are pretty good handling most pHs. One of the big things is having good water flow. This is pretty much something that should be a given for all puffers. I mean, it should be a given for all fish, but puffers in specific should have lots of good water flow, but you also don't want it to be too strong. Now, another thing you should know about these puffers is, and this is how the tank is, these are digging puffers, and I mean that they fully burrow. She probably is not going to display that, just because she probably just isn't feeling it right now. She just kind of does it whenever. Usually they're supposed to do it when when they're hunting for fish, but they can also just do it because they don't want to deal with other people, they're under the weather, or they just feel like it. They will often sit on the ground. They actually sit on the ground much more often than other fish do, especially compared to puffers. And you might be noticing that she has a really weird shape for a puffer, too. And this all has to do about her burrowing style. So you can notice that her belly is very flat, which is not very common for most puffers. Most puffers are very, well, round and puffy. Another thing you can see is that her eyes are on the top of her head, kind of like a frog. And this is to also help with her burrowing. So when she burrows, her eyes are sticking out of the ground and nothing else is. This is why if you're ever taking care of them, always have enough sediment so they can dig into it. And make sure it's a soft substrate that's not going to hurt them. This is a scaleless species of fish, just like all puffers. And I personally use black sand. They seem to like it. They'll bury in white sand too. It doesn't really matter what the color is. But make sure it's a soft substrate, so no sharp gravel, no big rocks or anything. Just to make sure you don't damage them. Food-wise, they are predators, so they do like live food. However, they will accept frozen just as well. I feed mine a mixture of bloodworms, brine shrimp, live ghost shrimp, and live feeder fish. And there is a little bit of a divide on whether you should or should feed your fish feeder fish, because they hold a chemical called thymine, which fish can become thymine deficient if they're fed exclusively feeder fish. So I wouldn't say you shouldn't feed them feeder fish because it lets them be active, but if you can't raise feeder fish, still you can buy some at the store, but just make sure they're having a varied diet with bloodworms and brine shrimp, and really make feeder fish more of a treat and a snack, and not really the norm. It's also a lot cheaper to do it this way too. So other things, so they do not require a enormous tank. They do require at least a decent amount of space. When they're little like this, I keep them in anywhere from 5 to 10, but once they start getting bigger, you should max them out at about a 30. Really going any bigger, I mean, is just an aesthetic choice. As I said, these puffers really aren't going to occupy every area of the tank. They do explore a lot, but a lot of their day, they are going to sit on the ground and they're going to bury. And that is also why they don't mind not needing a ton of tank space. Now, you may also be wondering if this is the only color this puffer comes in. This is actually the more rare color variant. Usually they come in kind of this brighter yellowy sandy color, but that's also a little bit false because she's not always orange. Fun little fact about this puffer, this type of puffer is melochromatic, so it can change its color at will. And you can't see it now because she's not doing it, but they can go from being this beautiful bright orange to being a very dark red, almost velvety red, to brown to pale. And a lot of times you may see it pale and you may think that it's sick, but it might just be changing its color to match the environment. They do not use their color to communicate. They are extremely aggressive. Like most puffers, they will kill pretty much anything you put in their tank. So this is a sole occupant fish. I've heard that apparently you could put them in pairs, but I'm going to be completely real with you. I wouldn't do it, especially with the price of these puffers. It's just too risky. If you really want multiple of these puffers, just get more tanks. But these puffers are unfortunately also on the more expensive side, ranging anywhere from a whopping $99 to almost $250, depending on who you're buying it from, and whether it's the orange or the regular variant. I will not go over the price that mine was specifically, just because that's just not something I'm going to do for most fish, but I will give a round price for all fish. So, do I recommend these fish? I recommend them if, A, you're okay with a little bit of an oddball and you're okay with only keeping it in the tank. And I also recommend that you have some experience with puffers and fish in general. This is definitely not a starter fish. It's more on the odd and unique side. But that is all for today. So I am glad to be finally back and recording, fish content. We don't talk about the Pokemon stuff. We don't have to. But yeah, I'm gonna try to upload some more videos. about the stuff that I have now, because we have quite a few things that will be very, very fun. So, without further ado, this is Thrills and Gills. I will see you on the high tide. Bye!